why have you got two pictures of Che Guevara on the wall? Not just one, Nick.
Yeah.
Not just one picture. You've got two pictures of Che Guevara. And if you could, before you give me the answers why you've got the pictures there, I understand you've actually written about Che Guevara.
Yeah.
And you know something about the man. So could you tell our gentle listeners about the man himself and how, what a noble creature he was?
I've got two because I'm a double communist. That's why I've got two on there. Che Guevara is a very interesting figure in terms of why he has such wide appeal, especially across the socialist movement, because he wasn't a very nice man. He was, not only was he homophobic, he actually shot dead people for being gay. And this is well documented. You read his book, the Motorcycle Diaries, a lot of stuff in there. He also didn't like black people. He found them lazy. He thought they were worthless. He wasn't a nice man at all. The reason why I have them on my wall is because I went to Cuba on holiday for 10 days. And when I was in the airport, I buy stuff from all over the world. So, you know, Cambodia, Africa, Thailand, the Vatican, Luxembourg, Malaysia, Jerusalem, Petra, Egypt, all over. Shell. Well, yes. Shell. That is a scallop shell. And in northern Spain, there's a cathedral called Santiago de Compostela. And that was a famous place to do pilgrimages from all over Europe. If you couldn't go to the Holy Land, that was the European version of the Holy Land. And throughout Spain, you have these tiles and brass imprints on pavements, on walls, the whole of Spain, and they all point the way of the pilgrimage.
Yes.
So if you follow them, you get to the Cathedral of Santiago.
I've heard about that. In fact,
de Compostela.
There's actually quite a famous, there's a film about it I've seen. It's a really good film, I can't remember who's in it now, quite a famous Hollywood actor.
Yeah, so that's why I got that. But then going back to the socialists, so they worship people who are not worth worshipping. So that Chairman Mao killed 100 million Chinese. Stalin, 60 million people. Lenin, a couple of million people, if not more. And they look at these people as if they're special. And they were racist. And it's all been documented. The person who wrote the Communist Manifesto was Karl Marx and Engels. We've got a letter from Engels that he wrote to Karl Marx's daughter after Karl Marx died, who'd married a black man living in Paris. And in his council ward where he was standing to be a councillor, there was a zoo. And he wrote to Marx's daughter saying, I hope your husband's standing in the right part of Paris because there's a zoo there and he's a monkey. So he was a racist himself. But socialists and communists never talk about their leaders and their faults. They always want to talk about people like Churchill, or Washington in America. We never, they always want to talk. They always want to talk about the capitalists, never the communists. And it just shows that they're blinkered. Their view of the world is blinkered. That we will accept you being a racist if you're a communist racist.
Yeah. And Churchill has been castigated a number of times for being a racist for a number of reasons, but he's probably Britain's greatest hero, I think.
He saved Western Europe from the Nazis, from real fascists, by the way.
Yeah.
And to be a fascist, you've got to be a socialist.
Yeah. Because
they were national socialists. You've got to be a socialist to be a fascist, which he wasn't. And he's accused of all sorts of things, such as starving millions of Bangladeshis because he wouldn't send them grain. Well, he didn't send them grain because we're in the middle of World War II and we wanted the grain for our soldiers. Yeah. And sometimes there's tough decisions to be made and you're trying to save the right people, especially if in the war. It wasn't because he was a racist. He didn't hoard the grain and not send it to anyone.
And I think the thing about Churchill as well, he had such a long career and did so much. There's always going to be examples within that career of things that may not be perfect. Whereas Che Guevara didn't live very long, but in the time he was alive, he managed to sort of line up homosexuals and shoot them. He was racist or whatever. But you don't see people walking around with T-shirts with Churchill, a picture of Churchill, but you do see lots of people, especially when I was at university, lots of people wearing Che Guevara T-shirts.
And that's because we're ignorant when it comes to history.
Yes.
We just see him as a freedom fighter who saved Cuba and fought, and saved Bolivia.
Yeah.
Having him on your T-shirt is a bit like having Himmler or Goebbels on your T-shirt.
Yes.
because they were roughly the same people, evil, nasty individuals.
Yeah.
But you'd find nobody with a Himmler t-shirt walking around the UK.
Yes.
But we still find him on t-shirts.
Yeah.
I had one as a kid, teenager.
Yeah. And you're carrying on, Nick, because obviously you've got him on your wall now. So despite knowing what he's like, knowing his legacy, you still got him there. So I think what we've suggested is you should remove those, replace it with a copy of Mein Kampf.
Yeah, which I've got on my bookcase.
Which shows your true affiliations. So going back to Churchill and the saviour of Western Europe. If you want to save Western Europe, dear listener, please vote for Nick Buckley, MBE, in the mayoral elections for Greater Manchester, which are taking place in May of this year.
Yep, 2nd of May.
Congratulations, Nick.
If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.